for Junction. This is Satvinder on solutions to kids' behavioral problem. Today we are going to discuss about dawdling. Now what is dawdling? Dawdling means idling or simply wasting time, especially when eating or dressing up. There are different causes behind it. When children are too small to eat or work fast as their motor coordination is poor. Children have no concept of time and are unaware of the time taken. Children get easily distracted by the things in the environment and forget what they were doing. Children get bored by daily routines like eating, dressing or studying and get interested in another things. Sometimes it can also be an attention-seeking behavior or when they are forced to do something, and also when a child is unwell. Now the handling methods. Remove distractions and let the child concentrate on the activity at hand. Give preparation time to your child before you expect action. Most children who dawdle do not like rapid transitions. Competitive games played occasionally can be helpful. Avoid arguing, scolding or nagging about the child's slowness. Instead of nagging the child of being slow, simply state what you see. Like, I see toys scattered all over the room. Avoid being impatient with the child's slowness and praise him when he finishes the task on time. Help and guide your child to form the habit of organizing things. Today we are going to discuss about stealing. In preschool age, children may simply take away things of others because they find them attractive. They do not understand what is not theirs cannot be grabbed. They need to be made to understand with patience. It becomes a problem when they grow up and intentionally take others' possessions as their own. There are different causes behind stealing, like temptation when basic needs are unsatisfied. For example, stealing food when hungry. Jealousy of others having more material things. For example, a child may feel jealous of his or her classmate boasting for a new pen or new razor or something new thing. Showing off to friends that he can steal without the knowledge of shopkeepers or adults and then repeat the action. Wrong modeling by adults who steal, for example, spoons from airlines or hotels. Strict discipline and harsh punishment also leads to stealing. When a child feels insecure because of poverty and is compared unfavorably with his rich friends. Now, the handling methods. Inculcate good values. If the child brings someone else's belonging, the parent should make sure that he return it without losing face. Make the child understand through stories that everyone cannot have everything. Teach him it is hard to earn and we cannot just take away things from others. Teach ownership. Explain the child everyone has the right to their own property. We need to buy what we want. Use example like how would you feel if your favorite toy is just taken away by someone. Understand the basic reason behind stealing and try to help your child. Avoid temptation like having money lying on kitchen platforms. And don't allow child to benefit from stealing. Be good models. Avoid punishing severely as this may increase the problem. And never label a child and say thief. This will lower his self-esteem. And lastly, praise and reward the honest behavior of the child. Today we are going to discuss about aggression. Aggression is physical or verbal expression of anger like reddening of face, verbal abuse and destructiveness. The aim is to hurt, destroy or damage. There are many causes behind it like strict behavior and expectation from the children, child's failure for getting attention. When parents make unfavorable comparisons, the child becomes aggressive when they are not being able to live up to the achievement of sibling and friends. Poor role models are also one of the causes of aggression. Now the handling methods. Analyze and interpret the child. Analyze why the child is behaving in such a manner. Is he feeling neglected, rejected or hurt? Discipline the child with love and firmness, conveying that destructiveness is not approved. Allow him to release hostility through language, art and music or some physical activity. Reassure the child that it is okay to be angry, but he should learn to express his anger in a non-destructive ways. Both the parents should be similar in their disciplining styles. If one is indulgent and the other is harsh, children get confused about the behavior expected from them. Offer special help to hostile and insecure children. They need to be protected from repetitive failures in group activities. Be a good model. You cannot control children who are hitting by slapping them. Give mild punishments. For example, isolate the child when the child tries to threaten his or her sibling. Avoid situations causing extreme and prolonged frustration. Take interest in your child. Meet his needs with patience and understanding. Children can be made to understand consequences to their behavior. Warn your child what will happen if he behaves aggressively. So these were few causes and handling methods of aggression. I hope it was clear and informative and will be helpful to you. Today we are going to discuss another behavioral problem called negativism. Resisting and saying no to everything and deliberately doing the opposite of what is asked is called negativism. This is a common occurrence in preschoolers and declines as they grow. There are many causes behind this behavioral problem. It is exhibited due to the urge to be independent and doing things on their own. Sometimes it increases when the child is hungry, tired or sleepy, or when a child is faced with jealousy, criticism and forced to do things. Sometimes we parents put lot of restrictions on child. So to show displeasure, a child behaves in a negative manner. When adults fail to appreciate the child's problem and push him hard, the child becomes negative. Excessive discipline and intolerant attitude of adults towards normal child behavior is also one of the cause. Now what are the handling methods? Let your child be independent. Let him wash his own hands, self-dress or keep his toys on the rack. Give choice of two alternatives rather than forcing him what he objects. For example, ask him, shall I wash your hands or will you do it yourself? Let your child decide. Use the word no to a minimum and make your request more positive. Be calm, tolerant and good humored about the child saying no to everything. Keep the child occupied with toys and playmates. Provide a good environment for exploring. Try not to laugh when the child says no. This may upset the child who takes his independence seriously. Do not overprotect your child. Always praise the child when he behaves good. Remember, this is a passing phase and do not give importance to this kind of behavior. When it has to be no for safety reasons, be calm and firm without getting angry. Always praise your child when he uses the word no to a minimum. Reward him or give him some special privilege when he doesn't say no in a day or a week. Deal with tact and patience and remember, this stage will not last forever. So these were few causes and handling methods for negativism. We on F3 Info Junction try our best to guide you and give you solutions for different behavioral problems. Today we are going to discuss another problem called quarreling. This is a very natural behavior among preschoolers. Angry dispute after unprovoked attack by another child is called quarreling. There is difference between quarreling and aggression. In quarreling, one person plays a defensive role while in aggression, the act is offensive. There are many causes behind quarreling like jealousy, poor social adjustments, boredom, harsh control, or wanting to feel big and successful. And sometimes children are unable to control their emotions and react when frustrated. Now the handling techniques. How to handle this problem? To minimize number and intensity of quarreling, provide individual private areas and keep children out of each other's way. Interest children in different hobbies and provide extra understanding and affection. Allow children to settle their own disputes unless they become too destructive or hurt each other. When the child becomes violent, allow him to explain his actions. When quarrels become physical, firm action should be taken. Make children conscious of the rights of others through some stories or role models. Accept and interpret behavior and allow acceptable expressions through language, art or music. Protect your child from repetitive failures in group experiences. Do not compare children all the time and do not encourage over-competitiveness. Avoid blaming one's own child as he cannot be always wrong, and also avoid defending one's own child as he cannot be always right. End quarrel with a diversion or calm discussion. Praise children when they have worked on a problem and solved it on their own. Make the child apologize if he has hurt another child. Let him learn to take responsibilities of his own actions. Make children realize that quarreling makes them unpopular and leads to less friends. And avoid quarreling in front of children because children imitate what they see. Children will be children. They are very sensitive, so handle them with care. So these were few handling techniques for quarreling. Today we are going to discuss another behavioral problem called shyness or dependency. Many children feel conscious on their own. All the time they need physical or emotional support and also closeness of a reassuring adult. Some common traits exhibited are holding on mothers' or teachers' clothing, nail biting, thumb sucking, or demanding approval for every action. Such children are not comfortable in the company of others. When the child is so shy and has trouble in forming relationships other than family members, then there is a cause of worry. There are many causes behind this behavior. The very first cause is when the child gets very less chance to meet and interact with other people, or when he feels insecure, lack of confidence, or the child is overprotected. Criticizing the child in front of others is also one of the causes. Now, how to handle the situations? There are different techniques to handle these kinds of behavior. Accept the child as he is. Do not make him feel guilty. Give him a lot of affection and attention and make him feel secure. Include the child's name in story or rhymes. Give him some responsibilities like cleaning the table or putting away the toys. Give him some successful and satisfying activities. Encourage the child to discuss his fear and share your own time story when you felt shy. Do not force the child to talk to others. Give the child the freedom to experiment, explore and create. Let him find his own ways within acceptable limits. Encourage other children to visit and play with the shy child. Do not mimic or tease or overprotect the child. And do not pay too much attention or overreact to his shyness. And avoid calling the child, "You are shy." So these were few handling techniques of this behavior called shyness. So parents, what you consider as a problem behavior is actually a normal characteristic of particular age group. This is a common occurrence and will pass away as they grow. Teach positive self-talk and let the child speak good things about himself. Today we are going to discuss another behavioral problem called temper tantrums. Temper tantrums are nothing but angry outbursts. For example, throwing objects, hitting, screaming or rolling on the ground. This is common in children between 18 months to 3 to 4 years of age. Have you ever wondered why your child is behaving in such a manner? There are different causes behind it. The very first cause is when a child is denied to do something, or just to seek attention, he tries to throw temper tantrums. Sometimes, even when a child is hungry, sleepy or tired, he does this behavior. A child also behaves in such a manner when something is taken away from him or when he is stopped from doing an activity he is interested in. Sometimes, just to satisfy his demands, he tries to behave in such a manner. Now, how to handle the situations? Avoid situations that give rise to tantrums. Do not say no unless absolutely necessary. Give him suitable choices. For example, if a child insists to buy a toy which he already has, give him choice whether he would like to go for a movie or an ice cream parlor. Just keep diverting his mind. Show lack of interest and indifference to his outburst. Ignore the child and continue doing your work. Do not soothe, argue, hit or reason with the child. When he is angry, he will not listen when the tantrum is thrown. Distract his mind to some interesting objects. Keep calm and appear composed even if very upset. Do not give in. Be firm in your decision. The child should know you say what you mean and you mean what you say. Show affection and make the child understand when he calms down. And when the tantrum is over, welcome him with open arms. Never say to your child, I am ashamed of you. Instead, say, you are angry now, I will listen to you when you cool down. So these were a few handling techniques when your child is throwing temper tantrums. Today we are going to discuss about bedwetting, also known as enuresis. Bedwetting or enuresis is an involuntary passage of urine by children 3 years plus. It's a common developmental disorder. There are many scientific reasons behind bedwetting, but we are going to discuss common causes among preschoolers. Inconsistent training, feeling of insecurity, strict discipline are few of the causes. Delayed maturation of nervous system or organic defect is also one of the causes. Bedwetting may be due to stress, anxiety caused by maternal separation, birth of a new sibling, hospitalization of mother figure, or punishment at school. Now the handling methods. Let the sleep time begin with a relaxed activity. Make your child feel comfortable. Instill proper bladder training to the child. Let the child form the habit of going to the toilet before going to bed. Avoid excitement and scary stories during bedtime. Also avoid giving liquids before bedtime. Make the child feel wanted and not neglected. Reduce stress in child's life. Create a happy and relaxed atmosphere free from scolding and threats. Praise the child when accidents doesn't occur. Reassure the child that the problem is temporary and this isn't an abnormality. Never say your child, don't wet the bed again tonight. Instead say, if you need me, I am there tonight. Remember, bedwetting is not your child's intentional act. He needs your comforting and reassurance presence. So these were few causes and handling methods for enuresis or bedwetting. Parenting is the only job where no training is provided, no experience is needed, you are just pushed into it. Time is changing. The environment is more democratic, whether parents agree or not. Today, new generation is getting more freedom than ever before. Mass media plays a dominant role and children are becoming more aware and smart. Every child has some or the other behavioral problem like shyness, quarreling, bedwetting, stealing and many more. Behavioral problems can be rectified with proper guidance and care. The problem can be confronted with different approach. The parent-child relation should be more explanation-based than fear-based. Children will be children. They will sometimes be over-demanding, sometimes unreasonable, and sometimes very difficult. So bringing up a child is really a big challenge. So here on F3 Info Junction, we will guide parents, educators, and to-be parents to raise emotionally strong and independent individuals to take the world. Today I am going to discuss a very common problem among kids, that is mealtime problem. Most children in preschool age become choosy for food and refuse to eat healthy food. Mothers drive themselves crazy. The child does not accept regular meals and milk but is willing to have chocolates, biscuits and ice creams. So dear mamas, do not panic. This is a common occurrence. I am going to tell you how to avoid this mealtime problems. Involve the child while planning menu. If possible, ask him to accompany you to the grocery shop as well. Help your child to plant a little vegetable garden in your balcony or yard. Most children will love to eat cucumbers, carrots and tomatoes that they have grown themselves. Provide regularly scheduled meals and snack time. Provide a relaxed and cheerful environment. Do not show anxiety to children to finish up fast or not to mess up. Let the child eat whatever is cooked for the entire family. A separate dish eaten separately makes the child feel left out. Try to include at least one dish the child likes at every family meal. Allow the child to eat while others in the family also eat. The child relishes the food while eating with others. Make meal time a social event. Serve attractively. The routine sabzi roti can be dotted with jams, chutneys and gems to look more attractive. Vegetables can be cut in different shapes to look more visually interesting. Be a good model. Try new dishes, relish your food and finish it the way you want your child to do. Eat healthy. Children cannot be expected to eat nutritious food when they see their parents eating pakoras and sugary products all the time. Do not keep junk food in the house. Leave no room for temptation. Avoid distractions like television or computer games during mealtime, as these encourages the children to take more time to finish their food. Provide variety of milk, as many children develop distaste for milk. So milk can be camouflaged as curd, paneer, fruit shake, pudding and endless possibilities which are very easy to prepare and are inexpensive. Don't encourage overeating. Do not force or drive your child to eat more. Be firm. Explain him he is eating because he is hungry and the food will make him remain healthy. Children learn large motor skills when they help in setting tables and preparing food. Encourage children to squeeze lemon, stir curries, mash potatoes and pour juices. Wiping the table, rinsing, cleaning dishes are the great ways for coordination and cleaning skills. So these were few things to deal with the mealtime problem. I hope this will be helpful to you. We will be back with some more behavioral problems in our next video. Send us your comments and suggestions in the comment box given below. And do subscribe our channel. See you next time. Till then, love your child and happy parenting.